same thing.
It is not the same thing.
Today we're talking about trending issues in society as it concerns young people, older people, whoever. So we're talking about stuff that is relatable to everybody. And I'm not the only one here. I have my beautiful co-host Aisha Salihu and a bunch of good-looking guests. We're like 4 good-looking people on this table. So yes. Starting from the lady on my right.
Hi, my name is Hope.
Well, you already know me. It's Aisha. Yeah, you're part of the gang.
Hi, my name is Brian.
Well, that's good. Everybody have introduced themselves, and now it's time for us to deliberate. So yes, today we're talking about sex for favors in general, and we're all going to give our perspectives. I'd like to ask you guys, what do you guys think about this whole sex for favors thing? The whole idea of sex for favors. What is your own perspective? Starting with Brian. Brian, I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Okay, I think both parties are largely guilty to a fault, especially for the men. Well, I think that for the guys, there should be some restraint. Yes, women can be very persuasive. Hey, I need this favor. Oh, I can't give it to you. This is done. I've already given it to someone else. Or you're not qualified enough for this. And then, while most of the time it's men that say, hey, if you want to get it, you can do this to get this. And then some of the time it's the women that say, okay, I'm willing to do anything to get this. So when it comes to that point, I think the responsibility falls on the guy to say, no, I'm not going to allow you to get it. And the guy should not even offer, or should not even ask.
That actually brings us to the place where we have to compare like sex for favors and mutually consensual sex because of favors. So yes.
So since you're saying it's only the guy now, it could be mutual, but then it's tailored towards.
If it's mutual, then it's business, and still sex for favor.
Prostitutes gives consensual sex, yeah, but if you look at it, prostitute needs money can be somebody's favor, right? And if they don't have, a woman doesn't have to stand on the road. She can need 20,000 naira and say, and a guy invites her to her house and say, if I was sleep with you, you give me this 20,000 naira. Done deal. He sleeps with her and gives her 20,000 naira. That's prostitution, but it's still sex for favor.
I need to put it this way: if someone comes to me and says, Brian, I need this, and I don't have money, please sleep with me. No matter how much pressure she's under, once I agree, I have taken advantage of that situation. So it's either I have the money to give her for it, or I look for some other way to help her. Let's sleep with her. Once sex is involved, it's sex for favor. Whether she voluntarily offers it or I request it, it's the same thing. Yes, you could say it's mutually. Yes, okay, let's have sex and I give you this. But once there's a condition underlying it, then it becomes sex for favor.
Sex for favors and prostitution are not the same thing, okay? Because prostitutes go into that whole sexual encounter like with a clear mind. I am going to offer you sex for money. I think I have like a lot of objections to what you have to say. The fact that you're saying something about, oh, she's asking for sex and stuff like that. I am going to talk about from my own perspective. Right. I have a lot of female friends. I have a lot of sisters, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people who have been put in situations whereby I don't like to use the word sexually harassed, but it is what it is. Exactly, right? So 9 times out of 10, okay, let me say 8 times out of 10, because there's always that 2 times or something like that. Yeah. When a woman is going to look for a job, she's going to look for a role, an acting role or anything, basically. She's basically making an effort. Not necessarily with, okay, you know what, yeah, I'm going to go and I'll meet the boss or I'll meet the director to have sex with him. Well, let me tell you what I also think. 8 times out of 10, because there's always that 2 times, right? Mm-hmm. It's always the man coming onto the woman. Yeah, I was going to come to that angle, victimization. Yeah.
No, I haven't said that men do not actually offer. Yes, I can say maybe 7 times out of 10.
Do you even know your own species, like your own gender? I don't think you do.
6 would be stretching it too far. But let's agree, 8 times out of 10, it is the men who want to take advantage of women.
Okay.
I perfectly agree.
Yeah.
I perfectly agree. But those two other times actually negate all the effort women make in making sure that men stop demanding. Because we talk about sex for grades, and yes, there are students who still go to lecturers that are not even interested in sleeping with them. And so when students do these things, it actually takes back all the efforts.
But talking about that 1%, right? Talking about that 1% and trying to say, okay, because of this 1%, the other 99%, you are making what they have done useless or pointless.
No, I'm not saying it's useless.
I can agree with Brian.
Are you trying to justify it?
I'm not saying it's useless. I'm just saying that this thing, everybody has to come and say, okay, this is bad.
Okay.
Women should stop using sex to get favors, number one. And men should definitely stop asking women for sex to
Okay,
give
so
them
the thing
favors.
is, I personally, there was this one time somebody was telling me that girls, sometimes when they don't have money to pay Uber drivers, they offer sex.
Yeah, it's real.
That sounded so absurd to me.
But it's real.
The fact that it sounded absurd to me made the person a little bit confused, like you didn't know. And it's not the first time. There was one time I wanted to get a job and somebody was like, meet me in my hotel room. I was like, for what now? He was like, what kind of question is that? Some people actually feel like it's a norm, like it's
something in society. You know this thing.
A lot of ladies actually very
I'm sorry.
open-minded.
I have a lot of issues with what you guys are saying.
You know, when they go out to get jobs, they're open-minded. They're like, if you have something to do.
I think we're just trying to draw a balance
Yes,
here.
yeah.
Women actually offer sex.
I mean,
It
it
happens.
and then men also
It
are.
happens. But let me tell you, I have been, how will I put it? Okay, let me explain something, I've been in situations whereby not once, not twice, not 3 times or however, most of the times when I find myself working in a Nigerian office or for a Nigerian company or stuff like that, I don't think I've ever been on the side where I'll say, okay, no, I'm going to try to get sex from this man.
I
said, okay, I'm still, please let me land. Okay, no, basically, what I'm trying to say is, I have a lot of female friends, right? I have a lot of female friends, a lot of, would I say family members or something? Let me just say I have a lot of females in my life, How will I put it? When you are basically above someone else, like you're their boss, you're someone you're supposed to get jobs from, or you're supposed to give them a role or anything like that. You know what? I'm even tired of even saying 8 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10. It is you that is in power. You have power. Emphasis on power. Let me tell you.
I didn't disagree.
Wait.
When she did the introduction, I said that yes, men are guilty, because even when women offer sex, you should decline and say, no, madam, you're not going to get this. Because once you encourage that culture, she's going to go somewhere else. She'll feel like, okay, yes, this my body can get me whatever I want. So if I can get a job from Brian, I can get a contract from Mr. Hassan, I can get this for simply with my body. So that's why men have to discourage such behavior. That's what I was saying. But I'm saying that it happens.
That's my point here. There's 2 sides to a coin. And honestly, I can see that Hope is a feminist.
Oh my God.
I'm also a feminist.
Pause.
Yes, I'm a feminist.
Well, yeah. Before we go any further, let's take a quick break.
We're talking about the situation where people offer sex for favors, especially men and women. Hope here and Brad, they've been on each other's neck. But we have another guest with us, Sanasi, right? Welcome on the program. So you're going to have to tell us what you think about, not necessarily, but I just need you to weigh in on the topic because you were not here when we started, so you just joined in now. But talking about people offering sex for favors and any institution at all, be it the workplace, the religious institution, or wherever. It's a trending topic. It's what's happening, relatable to everybody. Both the youth suffer it, even the elderly suffer it. But then, so what do you think about all of this?
Firstly, I don't think we can put an end to it.
Okay.
But I think we should try to minimize the occurrence of such in our institutions. And Nigerian, we are lacking a lot. most organizations don't have sexual health advisors that will give them policies on this is what you should do when somebody harass somebody sexually in the workplace. Or if something happens, people are raped daily in their workplace, what happens after them?
Sorry, I need to also say something. Do you guys realize how we're basically stereotyping, the boss is a man and the girl asking for a job is a woman or something? Yeah, also female bosses, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's also female bosses. See, let me put it like this, the way I am here is like this. The main issue or the main topic for discussion is bosses basically taking advantage of their workers or their employees for what? Trying to gain sexual favors. That is it. Talking about the other side of things, yeah? I don't know. I feel like it's just like saying, okay, this man is beating this woman. For example, this man is beating this woman. He's literally pummeling her. You can see her bruising, crying. But all you guys care about is asking, what did she do? Or just wait. Even when you see a woman, let me be like, even when you see a woman slapping.
What she said?
Yeah.
She said something which I really agree to. She said it cannot end, and we can only try to minimize it. I don't think it can be minimized. Okay, maybe we can minimize it. You know why it cannot end? When we say favor, what type of favor? Okay, the women that stand on the road at night, they're looking for financial favor. Okay. That's how we call it. Yeah. And so there's a transaction, and that financial favor is granted. Although they get to negotiate how much of that finance is. So if
you are going outside topic.
No.
You cannot be talking about a prostitute.
Let me finish.
Sex favor. Okay, guys.
No, the same thing.
It's the same thing. It is not the same thing.
Let me tell you why it's the same thing.
She is standing on the road as an ashawo trying to get money for it.
Okay, chill, guys.
It is different from trying to get.
Let me tell you why it's the same thing.
It's not like
it's a business.
Yes, you don't add prostitutes. Leave them to do their profession. Just leave them.
It's a business, fine.
Okay.
But I'm saying that, like you said, that 2 out of 10.
Okay.
That 2 out of 10 that are not on the road, that are
stop talking about
prostitutes. Leave ashewos alone. Leave their business alone for Pete's sake.
They are also doing some kind of yes. And if they are not women on the road selling their bodies, putting some economic value on it, I don't think anybody would see a woman and want to get some sexual value from it.
On a lighter note, we all know there's not just prostitutes. We have those girls.
They're the same thing.
We have sugar mummies.
We also have
the gigolos. Yeah, right? So there's different people that achieve favors for sex at different levels. Honestly, there are men that don't mind giving any woman money as long as she's open to having sex with them. We all know that. In fact, most men will be annoyed that they're giving a woman that is not sleeping with them money. They'll be like, okay, I want the money I gave her, or maybe asking for money.
I'm saying that the reason why that's subconscious is in men is because women have placed economic value on their bodies. If nobody was selling sex, nobody would be buying it.
Are you woman to say women have placed economic value on their own bodies?
I'm sorry for using women. Prostitutes.
Leave prostitutes alone. It's their body. They sat down in their right state of mind. They thought of it. I will give my body for money because I have limited options.
Some women have turned their bodies to some commercial enterprise. So once there's a market for stuff, once there's someone selling a product, they'll be able to buy it. If there's no woman standing on the road, that's number one. Secondly, once that culture slowly dies, men look at, there's no way I can pay for sex.
It looks like
Alright.
9 times out of 10, when a woman is engaging in sex for favor, usually it's because the man has demanded it. Okay? Some women are fine working and earning money.
Your question is if they are the same thing, consensual sex and sex for favor. Well, consensual sex, two consenting adults.
For favors.
For favors.
Yes.
If
Nobody is benefiting anything from that transaction, from that.
No, think about it, Brian.
I'm trying
You
to.
guys are in the office. Hope is your boss because we can't make you boss because let's make Hope
Can I fall in love with
Can
Can I fall in love with Hope?
Okay, let's say, okay.
No favor is attached, but we are consenting.
Okay, let's
And then
say,
maybe because she's in love with me, she
Okay.
gives me promotion. Is that possible?
yes.
So is that sex for favor?
I don't know what it is. That's why I'm asking the question.
That's so, and I'm
That's
saying.
not sex for favor
That's
now.
what.
For sex for favor to happen, the sex must happen.
Well,
Of course, we are dating, we're in love.
Think about it.
Giving you preferential treatment is not sex for favor.
It's what?
If the sex is not involved now.
Sex is involved. They are dating. There was
We are dating. We
And that's just preferential treatment.
Okay, so
Sex
it's
for favors is more of like, I don't
What
really
if-
have any.
What if
I
this
don't
guy does
know.
not exactly have feelings for her? But because she's boss and she's obviously
So I manipulated.
I mean,
He is doing sex for favor.
Yeah,
He's doing sex for
exactly.
favor.
What are you trying to do? Men use their bodies to. Some women.
But we know that if there are 100 women, if there are 100 men, you likely find more women than men using their bodies.
Oh my God. Okay, so that thing's ready. What type of women are you been meeting?
You only
You have
see
a
the part
Nigerian.
where you see the women. Men who come out and tell you, I slept with her for her to give me information. But ladies, we have friends, so we tell our friends will tell other friends. That's how you take
Okay, I want to ask you this honestly. Between men and women, yes, I know men are likely to demand. Men demand. Let's use the word offer. Between men and women, which gender is most likely to offer sex to get
You are
something?
asking me manipulating.
I'm not asking you. I'm not manipulating. I'm just asking you because she's fighting me.
Oh, I don't want
No. I think women offer. Some women offer.
Okay,
Very small percentage,
You guys
but they
think-
do offer.
Okay. So do you guys think in relationships there's sex for favors? Like you're dating somebody. So just think about it.
Yes.
I think there's times when it happens.
I think sex for favor is sexual harassment on the person that demands it or the person that won't accept the offer.
Yeah, but if you're dating
harassing
somebody,
the
for
person.
instance, okay, you're dating somebody, and maybe, okay, the person is asking for like 100K, and we're talking about it, okay, you did not give me the first week, you did not give me the second week, I say you don't have, then we've been having sex, but when someone in my mind, I'm like, you do it to the point where this guy will give me that money. And then people do this. I've heard that women during intercourse sometimes they actually ask for stuff.
And then maybe the guy, he's not thinking about
Because you
something.
know, yeah. So, so yeah, when that happens, what do we call that?
Well, I don't think there's an adjective to.
Yeah, because okay, can we still qualify that as sex for people? Because I think that.
I think the famous thing comes when there's an agreement. This
So
is
you're
what
saying there's no
we're going to
such thing as sex for favors in relationships? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, for sex for favor? No, it happens now. No, that one happens.
Okay.
But
I'm
is it
still
process
going
of
back.
it already happened?
I'm still going back to the fact that he keeps bringing attention to. Oh my God, it's more women demanding sex. It's more women offering sex.
I'm not saying that men don't demand. I'm saying yes, of course, everybody knows that men are the culprits, are the major culprits. Men demand for sex in exchange for favors. And I'm still saying that women offer more. No, I'm not saying no. I'm saying that I said that women are more likely to offer sex.
On what grounds? Where is the
demand.
facts?
Offer.
Where is the facts?
But then, when you are giving us facts, I think you should back it up with statistics.
Let me tell you something. Pause.
As a man ever
Let me
approached you
pause.
and said, hey, hi, can I
Pause,
speak to you
Brian.
and give me stuff?
I've listened to you. Can I speak? Thank you. I'm going to give you an example here during NYSC. Yeah, it's not just once. It's not just twice. Yeah, I have been sexually harassed multiple times by my bosses.
I know, of course.
Oh my God!
Brian, you have
This
to
is
let
same
her
thing with Can you let me speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then so during NYC, yeah, I had like when I say family house, I rented with like other girls, and we had like our rooms. Yeah. Every of my friend or every girl I was basically, I had something to do, like when I say had something to do with, I lived with or something like that. We're almost facing something similar.
And then even the ones that I had CDS with were facing something similar. I started a job, I got a job at one bank or something in this Abuja here. I started, and do you know I got 3 different types of sexual harassment in one day? I didn't go back. It happens very often. When you open your mouth to say, okay, you know what, yeah, I'm going to try to make men asking for sex and everything look like it doesn't happen. And then I'm going to try to justify that by saying women are more likely to offer sex. My brother,
okay, I think you should get so what I'm saying.
If you don't want to me that, then I'm not going to
offer, demand, men are more likely. Maybe I should just
you said men are more likely to offer.
Let me just make these 2 sentences so we can stop fighting.
Okay.
Men are more likely to demand sex.
Okay.
Women are more likely
they're
to
not more
offer
likely.
sex.
Just some women offer sex. Some women offer sex. So we're talking about people who demand or offer sex for favors in relationships, in the religious institution, at your workplace, and then we're bottling it down to those who actually offer or demand sex for favor. Just so the favor, just so you get to the top. You offer sex so you get to the top. Now, I'd like to know, does the society have the right to judge these people because they've made these particular choices? Let me start from you.
I don't think anyone has a right to judge anyone.
Okay.
Period. Yes, no one has a right to judge anyone, because if you were in that situation and you were being asked, only God knows what you answer. Only God knows what your answer will be. Do you understand? Some people usually judge people because of lack of opportunity. That's what I think. Mm-hmm. You don't have any right to judge anyone. Do you know why? Because you don't own anyone. My body is my body. Your body is your body. If you want to do anything, it's your business. Simple. What about you, Brian?
Do you really want me to go next?
I actually want you to say something for me.
Okay. Yes, it's every woman's body. You can do whatever you want to do with your body. There's no problem. But we talk about equality, equal rights, equal responsibility, and you're at a workplace, and you have male counterparts doing the same thing you're doing. Sometimes you work harder than them. Yes, actually, I have to put it that in the Nigerian system, men are more favored than women, especially when women even work harder. But sleeping your way to the top actually discredits the work feminists like me we have been doing over the years.
Brian said he's a feminist, but I don't know his own definition of feminism.
Advocating for equal pay, equal rights, it reduces the depth of our work. You're like, okay, why are we even fighting when a woman who just joined an organization can sleep with the right people and get to the top? So it discredits our work. It makes us look like we're wasting our time.
Like the rest of us, we're not doing anything.
Yeah, so when you meet a woman who is very hardworking but she's not, so when you meet a woman who is at the top, the first assumption is that she slept her way there.
Have you heard of the phrase, work smart, not work hard? Keep doing your 9 to 5.
The more women that we see women at the top, and that's why society has stereotyped them as she slept her way.
So Nancy, should we judge people who actually slept their way to the top?
No, because if you're judging and thinking work is hard for them to get to the top.
Okay.
Can I say that? So I'm very, very sorry. Can I say that the question is, should we judge people? Should people sleep their way to the top?
Well, I think the question is, should we judge people? Because if you think about it, people all do different things. Men do their things, women do their things. Sometimes they do.
Some men also sleep
and
their way to the top.
We should agree on the fact that we actually even have homosexuals. We have lesbians. So it's not just about men and women. It's about everybody.
So should they sleep their way to the top?
The thing is, society will not stop judging because there's different types of people in society. There's people that no matter what you do, you can be the boss of the heavens, and you tell them to sleep with you, they will not sleep with you. They will even feel better that if they got sacked and did not sleep with you, that they sleep with. And there's people that you don't even have to ask, they'll go and say, "Gee, their bosses." So that's what I'm saying. People are different, and different people will do different things. So yes, we will not stop judging people.
Exactly.
So then we judge people in our minds. Sometimes I literally saw somebody passing and wearing a dress, and I was like, dress doesn't look good on her.
Right.
Meanwhile, I had that same dress, and I'm just the same size as her. So yes, it doesn't look good on me either.
But I hope you understand the
You're not supposed to judge anyone.
When we keep assuming that yes, or when we keep saying that it's their body, it's their this.
I'm not saying it's their body. I'm saying we'll not stop judging because people will keep doing what they
She
want.
said it's their body. I think it's their body. The more it's their body talk we encourage, the more decay. And we'll come back and keep having discussions about
what decay? Sorry, let me say
body.
something. Sorry, what did you say? What decay? I had an offer to literally engage in something with somebody, and I'll be well off. I wouldn't even have to lift a finger, to be honest. And do you know what I did? I declined it. Do you know why?
Why did you decline it?
Exactly, because that's just not me. I am not under any pressure. If I am broke, I will call my dad and say, Daddy, I am broke. Please send me money before I kill myself or something.
I think it's Brian making points.
I don't think you judge women that decide to say yes to that because you don't know what they are facing. Some people will die of starvation and you're there telling me, oh, she should not say no, or she should not say yes.
Brian actually made a point.
Please.
That I agree with. He said that this whole sleeping with men and getting favors thing actually waters down the hard work that women do. Because if you notice that a lot of women in a lot of big positions, even women like artists and actresses, people always stereotype them that this one has stepped there.
Even politicians, female politicians.
Should you care? This is my own question. Should you
I'm saying
care?
that the more women, if women keep offering their bodies, and like you said, there's no judging.
Please, this is one is out to the whole Nigerian public. Judging women. Oh my God, she's sleeping with men for this, she's sleeping with women for that. If you ever come by my side to say that rubbish, I don't do that, but I will never open my mouth to judge any woman that does that because you never know her story.
So at this juncture, we're going to end this on the note that everybody, is doing their thing. But yes, the question is, why do people accept sex for favors? Me, I think it's because sometimes people see these opportunities and they feel like I'm probably not going to get this opportunity again. Especially probably somebody that does not really have that much money and she's thinking, oh, my father is in the hospital, my mother is in... There's that. And then there's also people that don't care. They don't see it as anything. So generally, I feel like people do what they want to do, and there's people that would never agree to giving their bodies out for sex. Moving on. Hope, what is your perspective?
Wholeheartedly agree with you, okay? You live in Nigeria, we all live in Nigeria. Let me tell you, if you are starving, if you have nothing, Nigerians tell you go and pray to God, so your situation will change, right? Before they will actually open their account and say, send me your account and send money to it will almost never happen, okay? So I am of the firm belief, to each their own, do what works for you and keep it moving. Simple.
But I think why some women actually accept the demand from the men, people asking them for sex and all of that. Some it's more of they are being victimized. You just do whatever suits you. If in an event it comes your way, you just do it, okay, for the sake of whatever you stand to gain from it. That's just it.
Well, for me, I don't think that. Okay, yes, there are some particular women in the world, people in the world that need to survive, and I admit that sometimes they have to sleep their way to get out of that survival mode. But saying that they should do whatever they want, there are women, there are men that are not exactly surviving, they're living. But I've seen bronze girls, as you call them, they have cars and all that, but that's like the only thing they want to ever do. They have cars, they have money, but they will keep doing that stuff because that's what they like, that's what they are used to. So it's not exactly a survivalist thing anymore. People do it to just get some advantage, some economic advantage, some financial advantage. So the question is, why do...
Agree to
Well,
sex.
some do it to survive, some do it to just... Some it's a hobby for some of them. And then for the rest of them, they just want to get richer, not survive richer.
I agree with you. People do it because of limited options. The only way for me to be rich is to sleep my way there.
Like, what's the alternative? If you don't have a daddy that can provide for you, yeah, that you can always lean back on, so you don't feel pressure.
What is your alternative?
alternative?
Okay, so yes, at this juncture, we're going to have to end this, and everybody has their own perspective. We hope that you share your perspective. And I'm also going to draw our attention to the fact that there are people that don't have a choice. There are people that they are being abused every day by people who just feel like, oh, because I'm doing this for you, yes, I have to take advantage of you. Young girls, young women, young men, everybody goes through something. So yes, please share your views and you can, reach out to all of us. We're all very interested, as you can see. I'm Jusla, there's Hope, there's Aisha, there's Brian, there's Anasi, and Aisha was here on the episode. We're teaching these people, we need other people to join. Yes, we don't want this. We don't want